Hello and welcome to E-Cigar Review.com. Today we got kind of a cool little spot for you here. What we're going to do is do a direct comparison for the best disposable electronic cigars on the market. We did our research and we have decided on our own accordance that these were the top brands in the market right now, and the ones most people are trying if they are interested in e-cigars, specifically disposable e-cigars. For this comparison, most of these are Cuban, 18 milligram. We want to provide a throat hit and experience that and see how each one basically inhales, battery life, overall taste, and performance. So as you can see, we've got roughly 6 brands here exactly, and they all range from price. And we're basically going to drill it down to the bottom 2 that we think are the best choice and money well spent in terms of brand and overall quality and value for what you're getting, and exactly what an e-cigar is and what you should be looking for with an e-cigar. So first we're going to go with Veppo. Veppo, one of the highly popular e-cigars out there, also at the higher end of the price point at $29.95. I'm just going to be grabbing it and I'll be showing you basically the box. It doesn't say how many puffs are on this. I'm going to guess it's somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000. Most of them are going to get somewhere between 1,000 to 18. The battery probably will die out before you get to 1,800 puffs, but then again, it might not. The Veppo is a soft hit. Okay. The wrap and the finish looks good. It's about a 48 gauge in terms of ring size for a cigar. What I'm going to do here is just give this some attention. And again, this is an 18 milligram Cuban flavor. Their best try on a Cuban flavor. So let's try it out. Okay, so that is Veppo. The battery size in this is probably somewhere between a 900 to 1100 milliamp battery, which would probably get you to that 1800 puff mark if there's enough e-liquid in there to handle it. What you're really looking for is an e-cigar that can get you to about 1,000 puffs. After that, the quality and the flavor diminishes quite a bit, and it's just time to refresh it. That being said, 1,000 puffs is equivalent to about 10 cigars. So if you're spending, anywhere on a cigar $7 to $15 a stick, as an average cigar enthusiast would, you can do the math. A $7 stick times 10 is $70. If you're spending more than that, you could be, you could be spending up to $150. So, for $29.95, it's the equivalent of 10. So it's saving you quite a bit of money there. My thoughts on the Veppo. I was actually very disappointed with the Veppo. The flavor was okay. It kind of had a, best way of saying this, like a dry straw taste. And I know that because I ate straw as a kid. That being said, flavor, I would probably give it about a 2.5 out of 5. Feel and battery, it's probably going to be a 4 out of 5. The appearance is very nice and very good. In terms of performance and vapor, I saw the vapor production was very weak. The draw was weak as well. I'd give it probably a 1.5 out of 5. So for the money, this probably won't be moving on to the next round as one of the top brands to be going out and buying. Although they are very popular, but we've seen that before, popular brands that really lack quality. Veppo happens to be one of those at this moment, at least the unit I'm trying. Okay. Next we have by Cigars, okay, the Cuvana. Again, this is their Cuban flavor, 1800 puffs, disposable e-cigar. This is much larger, again, probably a 48 ring size to 50 ring size, I'm guessing. Paper wrap, it's frosted tip. It is not a soft tip, it's a hard tip. So if you like to chew and hold it in your mouth, that could be a downfall. That being said, this is probably going to get you the full 1800 puffs, just looking at the battery size and the weight of it. So let's give Cuvana by Cigars, or Cigars, I believe it's called. Again, $29.95, 1800 puffs. They're Cuban flavor. Okay, that was actually pretty good in terms of flavor. A little on the sweeter side, had a little bit more throat hit, definitely much more than the Veppo, 4 and 18, which if you're a cigar enthusiast, you're going to want that little bit of a throat hit. I didn't like the hard tip. That being said, it still performed very well. Vapor production, I'm going to give this, for an e-cigar, disposable e-cigar, probably about 4 out of 5 stars. For taste, I'm probably going to give it about 3.5 out of 5. I almost want to give it a 4. It was pretty good tasting, just a little too sweet for me. In terms of feel and battery, we're going to give this a 2.5. It is larger, it does look good, but the hard tip just really kind of takes that whole idea of what a cigar is. I like to chew on it a little bit, just hold it there. So you really understand, or you wouldn't forget that this is an electronic cigar. In terms of vapor production and all that, I think everything was good. Not a bad unit for the price of $29.95. I still believe for a disposable e-cigar, when you're at $30 a stick, again, this will probably be the equivalent to 10 to 15 cigars in all reality. But for $29.95, again, still a good value. In my eyes, a little high for understanding what an e-cigar is in terms of the components and how it's put together. So good quality unit. Overall, somewhere between a 3.5 to a 4, probably closer to a 3.5 in the overall. Thirdly, we have the Antonio Villard Royal. The Royal is, I believe, a 50 gauge in terms of ring size. It does come in a cool box. It's got a cool box going on here. It's got a very dark wrap. Good looking unit. Again, this is not a soft tip, it's a hard tip. They really did not allude to what flavor this is. They only had one. It ranges from 24 milligrams all the way to 0. Most of these brands do have different nicotine strengths, so that's something you're concerned about. And 18 is probably going to be where you want to be, just to kind of give you the ability to inhale it a little bit if you want to. Inhaling an e-cigar is not like inhaling an actual cigar. It's not going to turn you green or anything, but I know when I'm enjoying an actual cigar, I do inhale just right there at the end, and I do the same thing with these. So flavor-wise, I'm not 100% sure. It's supposed to be a premium taste. That's really all the website alluded to. This is also going to be somewhere between a 900 to 1100 milliamp battery, which would probably get you well over 1,000 puffs. After that, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen to the e-cigar. But at that point, you're really gotten the best life out of your e-cigar. So you've either enjoyed it and you've gotten another one, or you're just over it. Size feels good. It's a little shorter than the other two, but it is a little thicker. Very good look in terms of appearance. Again, not the soft tip. Price point of $29.95. Let's try this out. Okay, first off, I'm just going to say I really don't know what flavor that is. I would not call it a Cuban. It almost, if I had to put it lightly, it like a sweet rubber type of deal. Maybe even a chocolate tone in there. Not what I would be expecting from a Cuban-based flavor or something like that. Taste is very subjective. I was not a fan of that taste at all. I couldn't do this one again. But in terms of size and appearance, this has a great feel. It's lacking the hard tip. Taste, not very high on my favorites, but again, I think it's a quality unit. It will get you to that 1,000 puff mark, as the other three would. For $29.95, I would call the vapor production about a 2.5. Wasn't too impressed. The taste, I'm gonna give it a 1. I was not a fan of it at all. 1 out of 5. Looks and appearance, I'm gonna give it a 4. It doesn't have the soft tip, which I do enjoy, but the size and the thicker ring size is quite nice. I would not buy one, especially for $29.95. Again, I feel that price point is high for a disposable e-cigar. Just because I understand what the components are and what happens to it. So, well, these three have been enjoyable. The Cuvana stands out so far in my mind as one of the better tasting yet slightly overpriced cigars. I would still be leaning towards a Cuvana at this point. Next, we're going to go to the E-Puffer. E-Puffer is a ring size of 48, and it is 1,800 puffs. Up to 1,800 puffs. So basically that's just legal jargon to say we're not promising you 1,800 puffs, but it should get it if everything is perfect in your world. Little tab on it. A little longer, more to the size of Veppo and Cuvana. Ring size, I would say about 48. It is a soft tip, so that's good. E-Puffer comes in at $21.95. These were all purchased via these companies' websites, and yeah, let's just jump right into it and give an E-Puffer a try. Apparently we opted for the blue ash tip. Okay. Overall, just first thoughts, very high level of, or lack of performance. A lot of puffing and drawing going on there, not a lot happening in terms of performance of vapor. Taste also, in turn, came out very weak. Overall quality of this does not feel, well, the wrap looks good, and it is a soft tip, just the function and performance of it was poor. The taste was poor. It was, again, on the sweeter side, very low quality type of ingredients, you can tell. I would say definitely a China e-juice of some sort is in here. I would not put this in the realm of a cigar flavor whatsoever. Sweet and watery, at best, would describe the E-Puffer. For $21.95, I'll give this an overall. I'm not even going to break it down into performance. I think you saw the vapor. For $21.95, they should be, they need to improve on their unit. That would be a definite do not buy, in my opinion. I think these three, even though their performance was okay, definitely stymied this. So we're just going to move on to the next, and let's move on to Aristo E-Cigars. This is the ZC Master, okay? It comes in at a price point of $19.99. This is a price point I think is good for disposable e-cigar, especially one that's promising 1,000 to 1,800 puffs. Again, most of these are probably going to get you around the same area. Even if they're promising 1,800 puffs, that does not mean you're going to get 1,800 puffs. You want a battery, and you can tell as soon as you unit that is going to get you to 1,000 puffs. After that, the cigar really goes downhill. It's a lot of puffs. I actually have a couple e-cigars in my golf bag when I'm on the course. I just leave them in there from week to week and take them out, put them in my pocket while I'm on the golf course, and we'll have fun. When I'm done, I put them back in, and until the next round it is. But this is the ZC Master, 1,000 puffs. It actually gives you, this is cool, it actually gives you the battery power. So this is a 900 milliamp battery, which is what you would suspect for a quality 1,000 puff e-cigar. If you're getting any less than that, your battery will die before you run out of juice. Okay, so the ZC Master at $19.99, good price point, I like that. The ring size on this is a little thinner than the last four. Probably put this somewhere in about a 40. That being said, it's a little shorter too. That being said, it's heavier, which is a good sign in terms of the quality of the battery that's inside. The Cuban Gold is also a little bit more descriptive, and this is their 18 milligram Cuban Gold. It was described as being caramelized or sweet Cuban flavor. But let's go ahead and let's try this out. The ZC Master by Aristo Cigars, $19.99. Okay, well, I'm sure you saw that. That was quite a dense cloud. The flavor was not overly sweet. There was definitely a lot of good flavor notes in there. And from the description, I would say it's spot on. It's a caramelized Cuban or tobacco, which is pretty good. Throat hit was present, not overly strong. Could still inhale a little bit and be smooth with it. Performance, it draws very good. It's not an airy draw. It's a little stiffer, which is good as well. Gives you more of that actual cigar feel. Again, it has a soft tip. The soft tip was quite nice. It's actually a little stiffer than some of the other ones, which is good, which means it's a denser rubber. The ring size is a little smaller, which really doesn't bother me. It's an electronic cigar. This is meant to be in your house, on the golf course, in your car. Other than that, when you get the option to have a real cigar, you're going to do that. But obviously not in your house or your car, if you ever want a chance on reselling your car anyways. That being said, let's get down to the rating of the ZC Master. I was actually very happily surprised and impressed by the ZC Master. The quality in the battery felt very high. You could tell it in the draw and the performance of it, and you could also see it in the vapor. I would give that's definitely by far the best performing e-cigar we have tried so far out of these 4 or 5 units here. So I'm gonna give that about a 5. That was pretty good for a disposable e-cigar. Flavor, I'm gonna give it about a 4. I'm not gonna go perfect on flavor pretty much ever because it's so subjective. For me, that really did it. It was good. That was something I could actually vape if I put it in one of my different mods or something like that. I would probably vape that in a much lower nicotine strength, but I probably would. Very clean tasting, caramelized tobacco Cuban flavor. So taste is about a 4. Price is spot on. I like that $19.99 mark. It's going to get you that value. I think it's going to produce the quality and the longevity what you're expecting out of an e-cigar. So for value, I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Overall, I'm going to give the look and feel of it probably somewhere between a 3.5 to almost a 4. It was a little smaller, which was fine, but just because the ring size was a little smaller, I'm not going to give it a 4. That being said, I could easily overlook that. The performance and the taste was really good. So I'd say overall probably about a 4.25 or a solid 4-star. Okay, the ZC Master disposable cigar. Last but not least, we have the Vaporillo. Okay, this one says up to 2,000 puffs, 18 milligram, smoking Cuban. Okay, packaging is kind of nice. It has a price point of $19.99 as well. That is where I think a lot of these e-cigars, specifically the disposable, should be. If you're spending more than that for an e-cigar, you're spending too much. Okay, so overall, again, we're back to where we were over here, closer to the Cuvana. It is a soft tip. Its wrap and everything is very similar to the e-puffer, the D1800. Although this one feels a little heavier and a little bit more put together, but it all comes down to performance. I'd give the look on this is pretty nice. A little bigger, a little longer. Again, the Master was a little shorter, a little smaller, maybe a little too long. But all in all, a good-looking unit. Well, let's get to what matters and try it out. Okay, so let's go. Well, it's still in my mouth. Let's go to taste and the flavor. Not overwhelming. Again, really kind of hard to put exactly what I would say. I wouldn't say it was a sweet water taste. There's definitely a slight hint of tobacco in there with a sweeter finish. Not overpowering if you're looking for a big taste. This isn't going to give you that. That being said, it wasn't bad. The throat hit was, I barely noticed it, but it was present for an 18 milligram. Overall look and style of it is pretty good. In terms of vapor, it wasn't bad. I'd give it about a 3 in terms of vapor and on draw. A little airy on the draw. Okay, especially after trying the Aristo, Master disposable cigar. Definitely a little airy, but I think for the most part at $19.99, if you're not looking again for a strong, overwhelming experience, this wouldn't be a bad unit to try out. That being said, I'm gonna give. I'm just gonna quick rate on flavor. I'm gonna give this about a 2, 2.5, probably a 2. In terms of looks, I'm gonna give it about a 3.5. It's got a good look to it. In terms of performance, I'm gonna give it about a 2.5. Wasn't bad. It is what it is. It is $19.99 on the lower end of the price point, but still at that point, you can get a lot out of a disposable cigar. So overall, I would probably give this cigar about a 2.75 to a 3. Okay, I'm not going to blow your socks off, but if you're just looking for something in the car, a little lighter feel to your cigar, this would achieve that at a fair price. Okay, my head is kind of already made up in terms of what 2 brands I would move forward with. And just in terms of the quality, the vapor, and the taste, and the feel of the unit, feeling that if you're going to spend that money, you're going to get the full life of the cigar to the closest it as it can to being marketed as. Okay, getting 1,800 puffs out of disposable, probably not going to happen. But if it does, and you get there, it's not going to be a very good tasting cigar at that point. The e-juice is all dried up, the cardo's pretty much done. And it's time to buy another one. I do like e-cigars. They're very convenient. I actually probably use them more than I do actual cigars at this point. Real cigars tough for me to use too often, just because the next day your throat's hurting, you're smelling. It's just, you know, it's a great experience at the moment, but the next day is usually a little rough for me in terms of cigars. That's why I've really kind of you know, got a passion for these now, and I want to kind of let you know what I think about the top two brands. I was disappointed with Veppo. For the size and how many units these guys, I believe, move, they really need to improve. Antonio Villard, the taste and the price point, well, the packaging and the look of the unit's good. There's still a lot of improvement there. It just kind of feels like it was ordered and someone said make it taste like that, and there was really no quality control or any checking going on into what their product was actually going to taste like. In terms of the e-puffer, that's a no. Extremely disappointed with that. Also, the ZC Master, good unit. Okay. We're getting a phone call. We'll let that go for a second there. ZC Master and the Vaporillo. Vaporillo again came around a 2.75 to a 3-star. Decent product for the price. Didn't blow my socks off though. Okay. So we're gonna put those back. The ones that really stuck out in my head was the ZC Master and the Cigarette Cuvana. Overall, the highest rating went to the ZC Master, and it also has the lowest price point. It also, for my taste, tasted better. There was a bit more of a throw hit with a Cuvana, but the flavoring was not as special as I thought the Cuban Gold was. It really kind of described, and when I tried it, it's what I was expecting. The performance on the ZC Master Disposable by far was better than the Cuvana. It had the soft tip. It's a little smaller than the Cuvana, but if I was gonna choose a brand out there to enjoy right now, it'd be the Cuvana, and it'd also be the Master. I'd probably load up on the Masters, but once in a while have a Cuvana just for a little stronger throat hit. That being said, again, all these companies make different nicotine strengths, which is really going to provide that throat hit for you. These are both 18s. So I would put the ZC Master as a very good buy at $19.99. I feel it's a strong unit. You're going to be happy with that product. The Cigarette 2 at $29.95, a little high, I believe, definitely. You know, that might be something they want to look to adjust, and also maybe a soft tip. But that pretty much wraps it up. E-cigars, especially the disposables, are fun. They're convenient in the house, watching a movie, whatever it is. The thing with vapor is most of the nicotine inhaled, when exhaled, a very, very minute amount of nicotine is exhaled. It basically eliminates secondhand, third-hand smoke. There's no tobacco. Most of these products have about 4 ingredients. So the alternative to actual cigars is mind-blowing in terms of what you're actually inhaling from a real cigar to this. The taste on these, they're very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. It'd be hard-pressed for a cigar to actually taste like this. It's just not possible. You got combustion, you got burning, you got all the different stuff. Most of it has to do with the wrap. At some point, what I would like to see is one that maybe smelled a little sweeter, just on the wrap. I'm sure that could be arranged to some effect from these companies. But yeah, number 1, I'll go with Aristo Cigars, the ZC Master, $19.99. Number 2, Cigarette Cuvana, Cuban cigar. These are the top 2 in my mind. Hey, I want to thank you for watching this review and hanging around for, it's got to be at least 5 minutes. Thank you.